What's up, my ninjas? I'm Strident, and I am back with my homeboy Agent O.
What's up? What's up?
And a little bit later, ODC, that's me, will be dropping in. But yeah, today we're gonna kind of bash X-Men,
Yeah.
Days of Future Past.
Bash it good.
It's weird because, like, I don't know, we keep on trying to figure out what it is that everybody else is seeing that we didn't see, because, like, it doesn't really do a good job of representing the source material. And I don't know how other people could see it. Maybe it's an age thing. Maybe it's folks that are younger, that didn't grow up with the X-Men in any incarnation. Like, you didn't see the old animated series, you didn't read the older books. You know, this is the first incarnation that you're getting, so it's cool to you because you don't have a frame of reference. Or maybe the people who are good at compartmentalizing the X-Men in the comics from the movie and saying, oh, even though it's called X-Men, even though they all have those names for some reason in the movies that they have in the comics, that we're not supposed to expect the same thing of the characters in both media.
Those people are crying bullshit. I'm sorry, because if it was, maybe they're not as invested in that particular franchise, and that's why they can justify that. But if, like I said, I brought this up before, I'm going to say it again. If they had taken Lord of the Rings and ran with it in a different direction, tried to make it like everything real world and all the magic and shit based on science, and like maybe the Balrog was a giant robot
something
or something, yeah, motherfuckers would be burning the theater down.
Yeah.
Because that book affected a lot of people's lives, and I mean, like, they read it and they were like, oh my god, this is like so awesome. And I guess for people like us, X-Men was kind of like our Lord of the Rings. Like,
Yeah.
'cause I never read the books, honestly. I read X-Men books. I was reading comic books. I really wasn't messing around with Lord of the Rings. It's
I had
cool
to read
and
it
all.
in school.
I didn't have to. Somehow I got around that shit. But yeah, I dug the comics, and so when you see the potential of a movie, of a comic book, and how it could translate to a movie, like, especially with the X-Men, you could have had that could have been like Fox or Sony or whoever owns the rights. That could have been their Avengers.
Yeah.
Like, had they done it right.
I agree. You had so many characters, and nothing in the original story was that far out in comparison to what you had in this movie. So there's no excuse for why you couldn't have, you couldn't have the exact same shit. You know what I mean? And I hear a lot of people argue and say shit like, you can't, it's a movie, you don't want to see the exact same shit you saw the first time, blah, 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 blah. But it's like, yes, I do. And that's what they built this on. You know, that was the whole point of them making a film version of this story. I mean, it's the 25th greatest Marvel story of all time, Marvel comic of all time. There's a reason for that. And we didn't get that in film form, you know, and people are making all these excuses, and they're like, oh, I liked it. Oh, yeah, because there's flashing lights, special effects, and, you know, half-naked Hugh Jackman. Like, to me, it wasn't enough. And, like, I'm tired of hearing people come up with these excuses. Like, if you ignore the fact that it's supposed to be the real the comics, and you divorce yourself from that, like what Comic Book Girl 19 said,
Yeah.
you can appreciate it for what it is.
No,
That
you
doesn't
can't.
make you any more special than anyone else when it comes to watching this, because they did not give you the story that the title implies. They gave you something completely different, and it goes back to what I said, and we were saying several off our brains ago. Just make something else based on that material, like inspired by. Don't call it X-Men, because until we actually see the shit, like a cool version of the shit that we saw in those books, or even in the cartoon, in live action, where you trim the fat and make it plausible, you know, like completely believable, they failed. And that's, you know, that's as much as I'm gonna as I can say about it. I don't know what else there is to say.
What we got was a ripoff of a lackluster cartoon, because they basically took elements from X-Men, Wolverine and the X-Men,
Yeah.
and added their own, bullshit to make it work with their continuity. And it's sad, because I mean, that cartoon was not that great. And And I understand they're trying to reboot the series or whatever, or basically retcon a few of the other earlier films. But man, they could have done a better job of that.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. They didn't feel like the X-Men, and I cry bullshit when it comes to them sending Wolverine back, because he got killed in the actual story arc. For all of those who don't know, it was Rachel Summers that sent her mind back in time. Rachel Summers, who they could have introduced, which would have been awesome, because you see one of Cyclops and Jean's offspring in the future, but they didn't do that because they killed them off so early in the story that there's no way for them to have this offspring. You know what I mean? Like, it just was dumb. The changes that they made for no reason, it's like they saw that they made all these mistakes and they said, hey, we can capitalize on this by making more mistakes that you're going to find out about. You're going to see the fruits of this later on in the later X-Men movies with this new timeline, because they've still already fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, what? So Cyclops and Havoc are going to be the same age, or did Havoc die in that time period? Because Havoc was in 1973, and then Cyclops was in whatever the future or present was.
Plus, when he went to get his helmet, you saw like his vest.
Well, no, he was in the military during that time.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, remember there was a scene when Mystique pretends to be
that was him.
That was who shot the one guy.
You know what? I completely fucking forgot. Like, I saw him shoot the thing, and I was like, that guy looks familiar or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, come on, in a cast full of white guys, all these young white guys. Come on, it's not hard to get. This is another reason why, and this leads into my next piece. This is another reason why I always point out when they do ignorant shit when it comes to minorities in these films. How many movies are we going to watch where the whole cast is a whole bunch of white guys? Some of them look so similar that it's just like, whatever. And then the black guys that are in the story, or the Hispanic guys, or the whatever, that are powerful, get played into the background, like Bishop. Once again, Bishop got bitched out like he was nothing. Matter of fact, in the cartoon version of Days of Future Past, Bishop was the focal point. In Age of Apocalypse, Bishop was a focal point. And in this, Bishop was relegated to the background.
Bishop was there to fill the quota.
Yeah, pretty much. And they kill him off doing the thing that he does.
Best.
The exact thing that he does. I mean, are you guys blind? I don't understand. He
was so downplayed in terms of his
power. Did he even have any dialogue? Besides calling them out?
Little bits here and there, but
I can't remember, man.
I mean, all those new people they added didn't really say a whole lot. Like,
and most of them weren't even in none of them were in the original thing.
Yeah,
it was like Storm, Colossus, Kitty Pryde, Rachel Summers, and Wolverine, who gets killed.
The mobile game that came out for this movie does a better job of telling the story
because they probably played it closer to the real game. Because
you can play as those characters in the game.
Because those are the ones that are important. See, what I don't get is this future didn't seem as bleak. They ripped off Terminator with their generic future, and everybody's like, oh my god, it looks great. Those Sentinels in the future look like shit. I'm sorry, they did not look cool. They reminded me of Sauron from Captain Power. Like, that's how cheesy they were in my eyes. And they were doing too much. Like, what kind of technology was that?
And how are they replicating? Like, machines, you can only do what you program a machine to do. Okay, if you program it to adapt to a situation, how does it change its physical structure to adapt and steal other people's powers?
Yeah.
And then even if they do that, because it is sci-fi, fine, whatever. You build a robot that can do that, fine, that's okay.
Well, no, they have to actually set that up for us first. Don't just say it. Set it up in a convincing kind of way. Because remember, this is the age where, quote unquote, everything has been done before, and they didn't set up shit. Why were the X-Men wearing all that armor? Nothing was shooting at them. Nothing was shooting guns at them. Like, what happened to the rest of mutant kind? What happened to the rest of mankind? What happened to the mutants, the humans, the anomalous? You know what I'm saying? Like, those were the three groups that you had in the actual story. What happened to all that? Why is it in 1973 not one black mutant was even part of the squad that helped do stuff? Why did they have to make Pietro Peter again? They already did that with Colossus, and that's how we know him. I mean, in the comics, it's Piotr, but in, sometimes they call him Peter because that's the closest to his name. I mean, he's not Russian in this series. Supposedly he is, though, because that's where they were in the beginning of the movie. Why is it that, the Maximoffs had to be just Americans? Like, everything revolved around America. Why did they even need to kill off all those X-Men when, like, 5 seconds later we saw all of them fine? It didn't have any...
didn't care. I never cared.
It didn't have any type of fucking impact, no gravitas,
whatever.
Nothing. And people are saying this is like the best superhero film.
Yeah.
Like, really?
Like if you think about it, they were barely in the film.
Yeah.
You saw them get killed off once, and then as soon as they get killed off, everything gets
fine.
reset.
They're all fine.
And then you see it again, only this time it's supposedly more dramatic. You're seeing people get ripped apart and stabbed a shit ton of times. But you don't care because these characters weren't around long enough for you to give a shit about them. And it's going to all get reset again, so where's the... where's the, not payoff, but
the investment.
You don't get anything out of it.
You're not emotionally invested in these characters. I mean, maybe they were counting on the fact that you saw them three movies ago, but there's a movie in between all this shit that separates the X-Men that they wanted to show you and make you feel sorry for, and the X-Men that they were trying to reintroduce into the mix. The First Class team is different from the original three movie team. You know what I mean? So like seeing Storm die after you haven't seen her in like 3 years.
And she was barely in the fucking movie.
It's like, who cares? I can't even remember if she spoke. I know she probably did.
Yeah,
but
she said a few things.
I swear it was just everything was so brief, and then the parts that I remember, it was mostly Wolverine, Professor X, Magneto.
Yeah.
And I just...
And Mystique.
Yeah, and I just was like, I don't care, because that's not how it goes. Bishop could have come back with them. That would have been a little bit more interesting. Instead, he didn't have anything to do. And for what I said to one of my subscribers, I pointed out, we made the joke about Bishop putting the energy into the gun, because that's how uncreative they would be with those mutant powers. His power is to absorb and reflect, which means for fucking Sentinels that are shooting energy at him all day long, he's going to absorb and reflect. That's what he should do. But you didn't get that. I mean, you kind of got it when the others were giving him their powers, and he was absorbing it, then he put it into his gun and ran out and was shooting stuff. But, like, where's the badass soldier that took down the whole fucking X-Men team? Like, that didn't exist because Bryan Singer didn't read those fucking comics.
Yeah, he doesn't care about the source material.
He doesn't like the comics, but you guys keep giving him props, and he's shitting on your source material. Meanwhile, at the Marvel camp, you have Joss Whedon, who loves the source material, and he gives us exactly what I'm saying needed to be given to us with the X-Men. Sometimes, like, I'm of the school that when you think of Marvel, I think of the X-Men, because that's what I was reading the most of, growing up when I was introduced to comics. I mean, it was between X-Men and Spider-Man,
yeah.
And then Ghost Rider was a close third. But, they're Marvel for me. That's what I think of. And the fact that Marvel doesn't own them, you can really see like the things that are being done. I mean, these X-Men in the films are so different from
so
the
lame.
ones. Yeah, they're so like watered down from the versions that we know. I mean, from Cyclops being nothing like his comic book counterpart, for better or for worse. Like, he's not capable at all. You have one scene in 5, maybe, let me see, you got 2 Origins movies, 3 X-Men movies, like proper with the same crew. Then you've got the 7 movies, and Cyclops has one scene where you see him be capable. I mean, he gets knocked out in that scene too, but one sequence where Cyclops takes down people like he knows what he's doing. One. And this is supposed to be the guy that leads this whole team of like godly, individuals. I don't know how you guys can say that the shit's good. I don't
know how you can say it was better than Amazing Spider-Man 2, because I've heard that, and people just fuck no.
Yeah.
Like, even if you compare action scene to action scene, there is no way on God's green earth that you could say the action scenes in X-Men Days of Future Past were better than Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
Like, the stuff that you had Spider-Man do that was actually in character, like, he looked like he could fuck up the X-Men by himself.
He probably
as dope
could.
as dope as they made him out in those movies.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, no, fuck no, and fuck all you people that think that shit. You're wrong. You're absolutely wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. At first I was like, are we seeing something that everyone else obviously is not seeing? Are we being too hard on the film? What is it? And there's a difference between enjoying things because you can suspend your belief, for a little while. But suspension of belief only works when the situation is set up properly, and a lot of what was happening just seemed convenient to me. There were so many conveniences.
Yeah, like Kitty Pryde's powers.
Yeah, where did she get that from?
Yeah.
Where did she get that from? No other telepaths existed in that future? And that's the beginning of the fucking movie.
Yeah.
And you guys are like, it's fucking awesome, man. It's awesome. It's the greatest. It's one of the greatest comic book movies. No, it's better than the other films, but it's not. I don't know. I just, that kind of shit it doesn't work for me at all. At all.
I mean, it'd be one thing if they actually did some, like, maybe she got abducted by, Bolivar Trask and all their people, or, whoever it is that's still running the Sentinel.
Oh, wait up. Wasn't Bolivar Trask a big black man in these movies before this? I believe he was.
Oh, shit, yeah, he was.
And then all of a sudden he's a midget? I'm sorry, he was a little person.
Well, they changed Toad too. Toad looked like
what was going on?
Toad looked like he had
something...
bad acne, and somebody did plastic surgery on him and failed.
Looked like someone kicked his ass out of Ghost in the Shell with those goggles and shit. Like, there's just too many things that it was done for the sake of being done, and I don't like it. I do not approve. I don't know. To me, it's unnecessary for things to be changed that much, and it's not that I have a problem with change. It's a problem I have with poorly done change.
Yeah, when you change certain aspects of a story or certain aspects of a character, the changes should still fit within the scope of who that character is and what they're able to do. Like if you do a movie with, say, like an old school gumshoe detective film, and during that movie, you're seeing him shooting at people. People are shooting back at him, and he's getting out of the way because he doesn't want to get hit. Because if he gets hit, he dies. Yeah. And then at the very end of the movie, the main antagonist comes up to him, points a gun point blank in his face, pulls the trigger, fires a bullet, and then you see the gumshoe detective catch the bullet in his teeth. Like, that don't make sense.
Yeah.
And you don't do anything to explain how he was even able to do that shit in the first place.
Exactly.
You're going to lose your entire audience right there.
Well,
so the fact that you should
lose your
and the fact
audience.
that all these people were just okay, fine, and they didn't care, just, I don't know. I mean, maybe some of you guys need to go back and think about how you actually go about reviewing a film.
Maybe we're just too serious about this stuff. I don't know.
Because that can't even be seen as a nitpick to me, because that's something fundamentally wrong with the movie, with the plot of the film.
Yeah, you gave a character who had clearly defined powers in at least 2 of the 3 movies that she was in prior to this. You just gave her a new power that doesn't even fit with the powers that she had beforehand, and it's established that there are other characters in the story that you're even adopting. There's a whole there's a whole nother character who has the abilities to do this. And they said, nope, we're not going to use her, because I guess they figured if they used Rachel, then people would be like, how come you didn't send Kitty Pryde back in time?
Which they should have done.
Which they should have just sent, if anything, send both of them back in time. And get rid of that bullshit excuse that, so-and-so's mind is weak. You know what I mean? Show the X-Men actually doing something for a change. Like, I understand that some people said it was the first time you got to see the X-Men physically fighting as a team.
Yeah.
And it's the first time that you got to see a lot of them doing stuff. Okay, good, but that doesn't negate the fact that the rest of the movie did not live up to that. It was almost like you had 2 separate movies, and the 2 separate movies do not play well together. And I don't know.
I think some people are so starved for a good X-Men movie, and that the bar has been set so low, even though no one will fucking admit that the first 3 X-Men movies suck.
Well, now they're trying to say it because this movie is supposed to reset it. Now everybody's bandwagoning on that school of thought, and we've been saying that for a long time, that The first two are not as great as people say. The third one, it's a little bit better, but it's still not a great movie because it comes off the first two. It has to work with framework that was set by the first two movies that are not great movies. And in First Class, it was probably directed better. The pacing was probably better. There was a little bit more payoff than what you got in the previous films, but it still wasn't a great movie.
Yeah, it still wasn't good. And neither's this.
And then this just falls right in line. And I don't know.
Watch them. They're going to fuck up at the Age of Apocalypse.
They already did. The guy looked like Mr. Sinister, and then they called him Apocalypse.
I didn't see it. I saw a picture of En Sabanur.
Yeah.
And I was like,
he looks like
he looks too pretty, and he doesn't. I don't even think he looks Egyptian to me, just from the picture I saw. But I have to see it in motion. I have to see the film and everything before I make a conclusion.
This is Home Skillet.
What it is, what it was, and what it could be.
Oh man, yeah, we're pretty much going back and forth over. Well, not going back and forth, but just talking about Days of Future Past and how.
Oh boy, I'm about to go see it in like an hour.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We won't spoil any of that for you. Then we'll stop.
Right. I saw you posted your review, and I was like, I want to watch it, but I can't watch it right now.
I was gonna, hey, like I said before, I was gonna like I told everybody else, you should fucking find an alternative means of watching the film.
Really? Oh boy.
That's what we did. Because like,
I have 2 free passes, so.
Okay, cool. So you're not out like 10 or 15 bucks.
So.
That's good. Because like, honestly, I know you are similar to us, and you're a fan of kind of the old school X-Men. You know, like.
Oh yeah,
the real X-Men, you know, not the weird fucking what's his name, Morrison's X-Men, not the weird you know, none of that shit.
Not after Chris Claremont came back after the first movie.
Yeah, not like we liked them before the first movie.
Yeah,
and then after the first movie, it's been
80s
downhill.
80s and 90s.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, I'm gonna try and be nice, and I won't. We're not gonna talk about it as much anymore because I wasn't happy with it at all. I mean, and I see a lot of people kind of like, you know, they said the best, and I used it in my review. I mentioned it in the beginning of our Off the Brain, because that's what we're on right now. I said, okay, Comic Book Girl 19. She said that she had to divorce herself from the comics in order to enjoy the movie, because if you're a fan of Days of Future Past, the comic, this is not that.
Well, then why is it called Days of Future Past?
Exactly.
That's exactly what I said.
Why was X-Men First Class called X-Men First Class when it wasn't the first
class? Exactly. So, and this is the trend.
It's a bullshit statement.
It's a way of getting people to get into the seats to pay that money, but they don't actually deliver on the promise that they make with that title. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, they don't get it. And they kind of, I don't know. I can't divorce myself from the two. It's like if someone says, ODC That's Me is right there, and I go, and ODC That's Me is fucking Ron Jeremy. I'd be pissed off because...
Well, I'd be pretty well endowed, wouldn't I?
But I mean, like, you're not an old fat guy, you know what I'm saying? Like, with greasy hair from the fucking, you know, shady-ass porn industry. Granted, he probably would have, like, some cool stories to tell, but I was coming to talk to you, not him, you know what I'm saying? So you know, or like if you go to a bar and you order a fucking rum and coke and they give you piss and water, you'd be pissed off because...
Yum! Can I have a shot of that, too?
You know what I'm saying?
A turd to dunk it in.
Exactly, with some fucking turds on the rocks. Like, you wouldn't be happy because that's not what you asked for. So, like, when I go to the movies and it's titled one thing, and then I see it and I'm like, wow, this is not what I thought it was going to be based on what you told me, then I kind of feel cheated, and I'm surprised that more people don't feel the same way. But I'm not going to go into any more of that. I won't, because I know you're about to go see it, so I'll let you.
I got real low expectations.
Yeah,
I told you that before, and I have very low expectations. I already don't like any of the character designs, really.
Yeah.
I'm scared to see. Like, a lot of people are getting, like, I watched a bunch of non-spoiler reviews. A lot of people fucking love this movie.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, it's real weird.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because you and I sort of, the three of us think alike.
Yeah.
So if you don't like it, I'm worried now.
I mean, like, and don't get me wrong, like, there are, and I said it in my review too, there's like a couple things that they did and it worked, but it still wasn't good enough. Like, it wasn't better than Winter Soldier or the Avengers.
Oh, hell no.
So, like, I heard someone say, it was someone on like IGN or one of those sites, they said this was like the best superhero film
this summer.
What?
And I was like, are you
This
fucking
summer.
kidding me? I'm like, didn't we just see Captain America the Winter
They
Soldier?
said it was. I've heard a review where they said it was better than Captain America.
And I'm like, there's no fucking
Yeah,
way.
no.
Not one fight scene was shot as well as their fight scenes. None of the plot was as deep as, you know, the Captain America stuff, because it was relevant to the world we live in now, you know?
Hell, it wasn't even as cohesive. Like I did a review. It's about to be up, and there was things I was pointing out, and I said it was nitpicking because it's like what I would have done with the plot if the plot had these elements in it.
Yeah.
But there's things that could have been done that would have made more sense. There's people that could have been in there that would have made things make more sense. It would have made the situations a lot easier to deal with. Like,
Yeah.
the movie would have ended on a faster note had
Yeah, certain people been used instead of others.
Yeah, and when you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
But, okay, so fine, happier stuff. Did you see the San Diego Comic-Con this year
I
exclusive
thought you said
Marvel?
happier stuff.
I know, right? I shouldn't say happier stuff. Sorry.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I was just about to say, I want to say something about the X-Men Marvel Legends set that's coming out, the Toys R Us exclusive.
Oh Lord!
It's online at Big Bad Toy Store for $130 fucking dollars. I'm like, are you kidding me?
That's the San Diego
$130 for five
No.
fucking figures?
What? Wow!
But that's what Big Bad Toy Store
Doubles in
does.
the set or anything.
Wow! It's just 5 figures.
That's what they do. I've noticed there's certain things that should be selling at one price, and you see it on Big Bad Toy Store, and it's on there and it's marked the fuck up.
So they're
for
like
no reason
they're
at
like
Should be
all.
$20 a pop.
Yeah, that's true. They're like 26 a piece.
They only one of the figures has one accessory, and that's Strife with the sword.
With the sword, yeah.
That's
Holy
it.
crap!
The other ones have no accessories at all besides the bath piece.
Wow.
It's like every time I get my hopes up with Marvel Legends, it's like they find a way, and they'll be like Magneto. I want this fucking Magneto. Now they're gonna. It's like they figure out a way to like fuck you every time. It's like, oh, I'm excited for this character to come out. No, it's gonna be an exclusive, so you can't find it, and I'm gonna fist you and your wallet. And it's like, and that's what they're gonna do with this fucking SDCC exclusive pack. All these fucking assholes are gonna buy up like 7 of them when they get to SDCC.
Yeah.
And then when I go to New York Comic Con, they're gonna be like $150, and I'm like, I'm not gonna spend $150 on that.
Yeah, especially when they're not all characters that we all wanted. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, how do you have one of the Guardians, like Guardians of the Galaxy is about to drop, and then you give us a 5-pack that is not the comic book version of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
It makes no sense. They should have given us the Guardians of the Galaxy comic book versions with a bath of Thanos.
Yeah, plain and simple. That would have made perfect sense. Or the fucking Starjammers, you know, with Blastar as their Build-A-Figure if they wanted to do that. Like, it just doesn't make sense the way it's all these random pieces of the Marvel Universe kind of thrown together. I don't know.
It makes no sense. And a lot of them are Kit Bash reused.
Exactly.
Oh,
all of them are. All of them
Yeah.
are. And I don't know. I was trying to be like hopeful about this and like say, oh, Gladiator, because I love Gladiator. I've been wanting a figure of him for a while, but something about using the Hyperion mold for that one motherfucker out there that wants to.
Now, why do you use that voice when you say Hyperion?
It's for that one motherfucker that's obsessed with Marvel Legends that wants to call everybody out because we're not as, you know, enthralled in the Marvel Legends universe as you are. But the fucking Hyperion mold for another figure when they could just fix that fucking torso. Fix the upper torso. Resculpt just above his neck. That's it. Fix that. And then...
And like, Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, and I'll see, like, I was on Marvel Legends community today, and I'm fucking around, and like, there's people asking stupid questions, like, I don't know. Somebody was like, "Oh, they posted a picture of the next wave for X-Men," and they're like, "Oh, that's a decent price, $26 per figure." I'm like, "What have I entered the fucking Twilight Zone? Since when is that a reasonable price for a fucking action figure with no fucking accessory?"
I know.
Now, is that just online, or is that going to be the store price too?
Yeah, it's going to be the store price too.
No, I'm asking. Is it going to be the store price too?
They should be. They should be.
20.
The last two waves were around like 21.
Yeah.
So that's what they should be.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if it's marked up because it's Big Bad Toy Store. Because I was trying to buy, back in the day, I was trying to buy the Riobot Jehudi figure from Zone of the Enders. And I went on Big Bad Toy Store and it was like $211 or something like that.
Remember when you were trying to get fucking Tekka Man Blade?
Yeah, and then I went on Hobby Search and I got it for like $89.
And that was from Japan.
Yeah.
From Japan, so it cost less than buying it from a store in the fucking U.S.
United States. And I was like, oh, fuck Big Bad Toy Store. Because they do that with certain figures. They always mark up the Tamashi web exclusives.
Yeah.
Always. If they get a hold of them, there's always going to be a markup.
Yo, fuck Big Bad Toy Store, man. Yeah. I am so fucking anti-Big Bad Toy Store. Not only do they fucking mark up prices like you guys are saying, but they fucking make you wait for everything.
Yeah.
Longer than any other fucking online distribution market.
Yeah.
Like, fucking stupid as hell. Yeah. Like, I gotta wait an extra month for a figure that came out a month ago, and I could have had it a month ago, but because I got it on my pile of loot, pile of shit, that's what they should call it.
I actually got a figure in my pile of loot right now.
I gotta go check out my pile of loot. You don't even save that much money with the pile of loot. Like, I gotta wait, at least until I have like $100 worth of stuff in there.
Yeah.
To save any money on shipping.
It's bogus. It's so bogus.
Whack.
It's so bogus. I don't know. I'm kind of sad about that. I don't know. It's weird. I have a feeling that like in the next couple years we're gonna be like kind of at critical mass with our collections and kind of just be like, yeah, fuck it. Let's put our money into stocks and bonds and shit.
Yeah. With that, more gray hairs will come.
Yeah, exactly. You know, because like, at what point was toy collecting ever supposed to be this frustrating? Like, you know what I mean?
Ridiculous.
It's weird. Like now we're all adults, like well into our adulthood. We got jobs, we got money, but like they're asking absurd things of us as far as pricing and like I'm not gonna pay $100 for one figure, or I'm not gonna pay, you know,
you shouldn't have to.
Like $200. Exactly. Like it doesn't do anything. Like yes, it'll make us happy to see that figure, but like okay, past that, it doesn't do anything, and they're asking these absurd prices for shit that like it cost them $8 to make the figure. You know what I mean?
If that.
Yeah.
If that.
And they always make it sound like, oh, it's so expensive. Maybe the whole like operation is expensive, but the figure itself, it's just like sneakers. If you go to Hong Kong and buy sneakers, like from the factories, you know what I mean? When the shit quote unquote falls off the truck, that's
like $3.
Yeah, it's like $3 or $5, maybe $7. And then you come over here, you're paying $100, $200 for them, you know, them new hot ones, son. You know what I'm saying, son? like the Jordans, them new Jordans, the jump bands. Like get the fuck out of here. And then now with toys, it's the same way. They're fucking toys. It shouldn't be like that. I mean, I know it's funny because we're complaining, but at the same time, it's like here's this hobby that it makes us pretty happy to do this. You know what I'm saying? And we can't do it because someone else is like, I could get more money out of you, motherfuckers. Watch me get more money out of you.
Exactly. Not only let me get more money out of you, but it's like, like right now it sucks because it's not like when you were a kid you go to the store and find a figure.
Yeah.
You go to the store, you can't find shit. They don't have shit in stores. You gotta revert to these fucking assholes with these prices online, and it's like a constant fucking struggle with you. Either should I continue to even collect or should I quit?
Yeah.
You gotta fucking take fucking 5 years off and maybe everything will change, or maybe it'll get worse. I don't know.
Yeah.
You gotta get up early in the morning.
Yeah, they want you to put all this work in. I'm like, I already have a job. I'm not going to turn collecting into a job. Like I remember when you were talking about the scalper that you ran into. Remember?
Oh,
when
yeah.
you found the Black Widow figure, which I still haven't fucking seen. I gave up. I was like, fuck it.
I think I found one for you.
Really?
Yeah. There's a dude. He's one of my subscribers on YouTube.
Cool.
And he's got his own channel too, but he was doing service for military, and he was over. I don't know. I can't remember where he was, in China or something. And he found one for me. He just hasn't messaged me back. So if I get it, I'll just send it to you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. But
yeah, it's weird.
sorry, continue.
It's just weird though. Like you, go ahead, Agent O.
I was just gonna say, it's like you have to get up like early in the morning on like the day when the new shipment comes into Target and catch them while they're putting the shit on the shelves in order to get a chance to get anything.
Man, the other day,
because that's what I've literally had to do to get shit.
Man, the other day, me and my little sister went to Walmart. She just got a job doing. She's the chemical engineer, so she wanted to get boots or something. So we went to Walmart, and they were putting shit out, and so I'm like, you know where I'm going. She starts laughing, she leaves. So I go to the toy section and there's all these boxes out, and I felt like such a fucking creeper, like trying to look at what boxes said what, and like should I kind of open this box because it says Hasbro on it, like it says action figures, I think it says Marvel Legends. Let me see what's in here. One, there was like Galaxy, Guardians of the Galaxy, but they were the tall, stiff, ugly action figures that they have with like 5 points of articulation, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And I was about to, like, at first I just saw Guardians of the Galaxy, so I kind of peeked over like, what's this? Man, I'm like about to open it, and then I was like, you know what? Like, fuck this, man. I'm not going to do this shit. So I just was like, screw it. When they come out, I'll get them if I see them or something, but I don't know. It kind of kills the fun, Like I like the whole brick and mortar experience where you go into the store, you talk to people, you see the figures, you can check to make sure their eyes aren't all fucked up, and
you fucking run to the toy aisle like a fucking
like a little kid. I used to, me and my older son. That's what
you don't run.
Exactly. We used to speed walk all through the store to get there.
People are looking at you like, what the hell's his problem? You just dumped his pants.
Exactly, but that was the fun of it. You get excited, Like when I was collecting Pursuit of Cobra figures, when Rise of Cobra had ended and Pursuit of Cobra just started, that was like the thing. We'd be running to the toy aisle to see what new shit would show up in the store. And it was fun. Now, it's just not fun. You go, you see a bunch
it's fucking stressful.
You see wrestling, you see Power Rangers.
Yo, you see so much wrestling.
You see Ninja Turtles. Yeah, the wrestling stuff.
How come Mattel gave up on the DCUC line, but there's like a million fucking wrestling figures everywhere?
Yeah, man.
And they all seem to be warming the pegs.
Yeah.
All they do is warm pegs.
Yeah. And they're always, like you said, they warm pegs because they're always restocking them. Always. Yep. As soon as a few
always restock them. They would never restock DCUCs. They'd be like, we can't get rid of these. This samurai from wave fucking 19.
I saw him at Kmart the other day. Yeah, man, this shit's not right, man. I don't get it. I'm hoping that at some point the next bunch of Marvel Legends or something will be fun. It'll be something we can find in mass retail for real, because I swear, there's certain figures that came out with the Captain America Legends and the, I guess it's all Captain America, because I have the Spider-Man Legends, the whole line, except for the variants.
God, I still need fucking Carnage.
Oh, you haven't? I keep seeing Toxin everywhere, but that figure is horrible.
Yeah, I know.
It's horrible. That's the only figure I didn't get. I found a pretty decent deal on eBay for, it was like $17 per figure, and I got the Spider-Girl and
the Boomerang dude.
Boomerang, yeah. But that Boomerang figure is a bag of shit. I just did a review. I want to post it. I'm like, yeah, this is a pass.
The only thing I thought about when I saw him was making a Cyclops custom out of him, but like,
yeah, that's a good face for Cyclops.
Yeah, and I think, is his nose showing?
No, his nose doesn't show.
So that's the only problem, but still, you can always switch the head.
Yeah, that's true.
But let's see. What? Let's see if there's something. Street Fighter.
Oh,
So you
yeah,
saw that,
let's
right?
talk about that.
You
Let's
saw
talk
it?
about something fun.
Yeah. Have you seen it yet?
Non-
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, it's
Something
alright.
that's refreshing to.
I mean, I pretty much
Yeah.
know the story anyway, so
Yeah.
it's not like you're gonna spoil anything for me.
Well,
Yeah, no.
The best thing about it is that, like, you know how everybody's riding Nolan's freaking dick because they think the gritty, realistic, dark tone should be inserted into every fucking thing. You know,
Yeah.
like Street Fighter completely is like, nope, we're gonna do our own thing. Like fucking Christian Howard and Joey Ansa, fucking, they know their shit, and they're the first people in a long time to actually tell us, like, hey, we're fans and we love this shit and we know you want to see it better, so we're gonna do it better. And they
Yep.
actually did it. Like it's actually better. I don't care about those couple people out there that are gonna be like, it could use better production values and I felt it was kind of cheap. Like, it's a fucking web series. It was made for $2 million, whereas, like, I'm sure the budget was way higher for Mortal Kombat Legacy. And, like, that second season of Mortal Kombat Legacy, I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. Because they did so many weird things. I mean, how do you turn Liu Kang? Liu Kang was the character that they said, we created Liu Kang so that you could show your grandmother Mortal Kombat and she wouldn't lose her mind. You know what I mean? She wouldn't feel like this game's too violent because he doesn't kill. So he's the hero. You're supposed to like him. They turned him into a bad guy on that whole realistic, gritty tip, which is just stupid.
Whack.
But, like, in this, I swear, they hit everything. Evil Ryu shows up for a couple seconds.
Oh yeah.
Fucking Akuma shows up and doesn't fight. He actually has a conversation with Gouken.
I'm glad that he didn't fight.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit, they actually made him a character, like a fully realized character with motivations, with likes, dislikes, loves, hates. You're just like, wow, every single character has a whole entire, you know, slew of emotion and backstory and feeling and whatever. I just was like, man, they really, they knew their shit.
Seems like this just shows how much Capcom is slipping with their own franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
A
horrible.
bunch of other people can come in and tell a better story than you did, and you guys fucking created these characters.
Well, they fired all the people that created the characters. That's the problem.
But I mean, the people that are working there now can't even tell a cohesive story,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, because they just want that money. They're too busy listening to the geniuses on showryuken.com and
the Capcom
and the
Unity.
Capcom Unity and all that, and they're not really thinking about what what was the plan when this was introduced. What were the characters supposed to be? And the fight scenes in this, man, like, I know a lot of people do not know a whole lot about martial arts, but you are seeing a whole lot of karate.
A whole lot of karate.
It was like straight up Kyokushin karate with a little bit of fucking XMA in there. But it was good. It was all so fucking good. Ken, he's doing fakes with his kicks and he has fancy footwork. They explain where their stance comes from, the little bouncy stance.
Yeah.
I don't know.
From Ken's father.
From Ken's dad. Ken's dad practiced boxing and was teaching them to lighten up because they were so stiff when they would fight. So, like, you see them kind of sparring with him and shit and, like, doing drills. And he's telling them just bounce, you know, loosen up on your feet. Stop being so stiff. You can move better that way. And it was proper because the actor playing Ken's dad is a boxer.
Yep.
And you could tell you
could tell the way he was built. That dude was.
Yeah, no, he was jacked.
He was all jacked up.
He didn't even take his shirt off or anything, and it was like this dude his
He
shoulders
went
were
through
just
his fucking his collared shirt and shit.
his shoulders were so swole. It was like, damn.
Why is he gonna rip his shirt when he was throwing punches?
Exactly.
This shit was tight.
But no, it was good, man. It was one of the first times in a long time where you're sitting there like captive audience in a good way. Like, you're not going, that wouldn't fucking happen, or how did that happen, or why did that happen? No, everything they did felt like it's stuff you've seen separately in different interpretations of Street Fighter that makes the individual pieces would make sense if they were put together in the whole. You know, because like if you've seen Street Fighter 2, the animated film, then you got to see Ryu and Ken, grown up Ryu and Ken fighting Bison and going around the world fighting other Street Fighters, and it was cool. If you saw Alpha, you got to see when Ryu was going through the whole evil Ryu shit in the early part of their lives. If you saw Alpha Generations, then you got to see how Goki turned into Akuma. You know, and you got to see Gulkin as a younger man. If you saw Street Fighter 2 V, you got to see kind of some of that story all in one arc. But they took liberties here and there. That's why
a lot of liberties.
They took a lot of liberties, yeah. So that's why I say, like, there's aspects like the kata that Ryu does to focus so that he can shoot his fireball. Street Fighter 2 V, I swear to goodness, like it was right there. I mean, they changed up a little bit of it, but that was it. And I don't know, man. They knocked
it out of the park, hands down. Like, if there was a way that I could like donate some money, just for the production to keep these things going, I'd totally do it.
Yeah,
I would completely do it because that's how fun it was for me to just sit there and watch almost 13 episodes.
Yeah,
and I mean, I don't know if it's ever going to come out on like a DVD form or whatever.
They're planning on it.
Well, I'm assuming it will.
I wouldn't be surprised if it showed up on Netflix, like Halo Forward Unto Dawn and Video Game High School did.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat Legacy.
Yeah, because it should. And even if you just watch it and you, I mean, because it is a movie. Because you're watching it in concession. It's broken up between like a whole season. So it's like watching a full season of like The Walking Dead or whatever.
Kind of. I mean, they're 15-minute episodes. Yeah, so
they're 15-minute episodes, but I mean, really spans into like an hour, over an hour. So, I mean, really, when you think about it, just cinematically, like, a lot of people are bitching, like, oh, the acting is weird. These actors are horrible. I'm like, what was wrong with them? Like, they're portraying a fucking Street Fighter character. Like, what the fuck do you want them to do?
Yeah.
They're not going up for an Oscar, obviously, but it was good enough where I thought it grabbed me.
Yeah.
And, like, I think like within the first episode, some of the acting was a little weird. Some of the things that Ken and Ryu were saying to each other were a little off, and then it got better throughout the other. You noticed that their acting got better throughout the rest of the series.
Yeah. Well, they even had less lines in the first episode than they did as the series went on. And I don't know, I just think it was handled in such a smart way.
Yeah.
They didn't give them too much to say. They didn't make them do too much. Everybody was like just enough of their character that it was fun, and it wasn't like anything took you out of the experience, you know?
Yeah.
When I saw the trailer...
That was the other thing. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, when I saw the big trailer before they released all the episodes, and you see Ken wisecracking about, you know, how he's going to be able to take down Ryu, it felt like Ken. You know, the cockiness was there.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, yo, this is going to be official. Like, they actually nailed everything.
Yeah, like, even the wig. Like, that wig.
It looked right.
It was a wig, but that shit worked.
Yeah. It was a lot of wig.
It would have taken somebody 12 years to grow that hair like that.
Yeah, I know, right?
But no, they definitely nailed it. Like, Chris Evans is Captain America. That dude is Ken.
Yeah. Christian Howard,
down.
And the same thing with Mike Moe. I remember I was reading, people told him in his own fucking Q&A session, it was on Facebook, I think, and then he read the stuff out on YouTube. They told him that he was too small to play Ryu.
What?
And then he looked at the screen and he was just like, well, I've been doing all this, bodybuilding every day for so many months, during the shooting and before the shooting of this. I think by the time you see the film, I'm big enough. You know what I mean? Like, honestly,
I feel like everybody wants a Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, and it's weird too because like
you can't have that with
Street Fighter 4.
Yeah, because Street Fighter 4,
you won't be able to move. You'll be all stiff and robotic.
Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't look natural. It just wouldn't work. I mean, and when
the only person who could pull that off would be Michael Jai White.
And even him though, he's muscular, like he's really built, but he's not a big guy.
Yeah. So
like, I don't know.
But I mean, when you see him do his karate forms and stuff, he looks like he knows what he's doing. He looks like he's fluid. He looks like a karate practitioner.
He's a Kyokushin person. So like, he knows. He pretty much is doing what Ken and Ryu are doing, what Anatsuken is based on. So yeah, I think it's dope that they finally did this shit. I can't wait for more.
Plus, he shouldn't be huge anyway. Like real martial artists that don't really, they're not bodybuilders, but they practice martial arts. They're gonna be cut up they're going to be bigger than the average person, but they're not going to be looking like, like somebody who bodybuilds all the time, or who sculpts
like
their muscle, because they're conditioning their muscles for a totally different purpose.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. A lot of times people say when they see somebody who's ripped or jacked, that the dude is huge. In most cases, they're the same size as the rest of us. Their bodies are sculpted differently because instead of having fat, it's muscle. You know what I'm saying? And
exactly.
So I don't know. I honestly, they look the part. Ryu looked like a freaking built karate man. Like that's the way they look. I mean, if you ever go and look at old tapes of Masoyama and any of the Kyokushin training tapes, it's always a big burly ass dude. I mean, and even when he has no shirt on, you can't see all the definition in his muscles, but he looks like a fucking brick. He's just solid. And I'm like, this dude had a little bit more sculpting going on, but he looked solid. Like if you were to punch him in the chest, he could probably just take it. Like nothing. You know what I mean?
And the other thing is like if you notice, like the camera shots for Akuma, they were all lowered shots looking up. Yeah. All the other camera shots with Ken Ryu and Goken, they were all regular establishing shots. They weren't like these big fucking from underneath to make him look bigger. Yeah. It was just a normal shot. So in most normal shots, people don't look big and huge and jacked. But if you stand next to that person, they're fucking big. Yeah. Like, if you stand side by side next to Ken or Ryu, like they're going to be bigger than you. Like you can tell. But it was just the shots of the camera. It made them look a little shorter. I'll admit the shots made them look a little bit shorter.
But that's the thing. They're supposed to be like
you got the picture. Like they were big dudes. Like they're not small at all.
Well, they're muscular dudes, but they're supposed to be like 5'10". I think both of them. So they did that. The cool. It's somewhat trick photography to make them look shorter than they really are. So that when they stood next to Goken, they actually looked the right height. He looked taller than they did. And then Akuma looked bigger than all three of them.
Oh, yeah.
Because freaking Joey Ansa's tall, but they also did, like you said, worm's eye view to make him look bigger. I mean, these are all things that it's funny, like, people will see them, but they don't realize what they're seeing. You know what I mean? No. And, like, when it's done right, it just works. When it's done wrong, then you notice and there's something to say. And in this film, it was not done wrong. Everything worked. My only gripe, and I said it in my review, was Akuma's makeup. I was not feeling that shit. They just pretty much blackened out.
The whole eyeshadow thing.
They you know how like in the what was it called?
Just CGI his eyes red. That's all they had.
Not even that. It was like in the it's not even his eyes. It was just, you know how Akuma has that lion face?
Yeah.
He didn't have it in this. It was Joey Ansa with like fake teeth. And then they put like black eyeshadow around his eyes. But if you saw the Street Fighter Legacy, the original trailer and the shots for it, he had this makeup where he had the big ass thick nose with like the nose bridge and his forehead were like one long big puffy.
Yeah, he had like prosthetics on his forehead over his eyebrows, and like his nose was widened out.
Yeah, it was.
I wonder why they didn't do that.
I don't know. Maybe they thought it looked hokey, but like his hair looked horrible in that. But then in this version, the hair looked cool, but then he didn't have the face makeup, and I'm like, dude, put the face makeup back on. You know what I mean? Like, go all out. But maybe they will in later episodes. You know, because they have a long time.
For the most part, they pretty much. They
nailed it. Yeah, they nailed it. I can't wait for Scott Adkins to show up as Guile.
I can't wait to see his fucking hair. I hope they just put a fucking wig on.
No, you know he's gonna have like a regular flat top. It'll probably be just.
Oh, I hate that. Let's give me the Jean-Claude Van Damme bullshit.
I know. I want to see the brush top.
Yeah,
I really do.
I want that.
Yeah,
I want that.
I do
want the vanilla. At least give me some Vanilla Ice, some kid.
Exactly, some flat top. Yeah, that would be nice.
Give me an eraser top.
I mean, they could pull it off like how the artist how he looks in Street Fighter 4, because it's not as exaggerated.
It's not high.
Yeah, it's not high, but it's
a wide
it is out
flat
there.
top.
Yeah,
that would be hot, but still.
As long as it matches his head. Like, they just gotta get it to match his head shape.
Yeah, Guile's my favorite Street Fighter, period, and I can't wait to see. I've been saying it forever, that his fighting style should be it should be XMA. So it's obviously a karate or kickboxing base, but he should be doing like flying kicks all over the place, flip kicks,
some wrestling.
yeah, and obviously ground, wrestling on the ground. And they always just dumb him down in the games, and I'm like, it's been 20 fucking years, and Guile still has 2 moves. Like, are you kidding me? Like, really? And like, when you look at what his move set is, he should be doing way more than what they give him as moves. So like in movies, I'm like, he needs to be all over the place with his skill level, because look at what he's doing. He's got a very like ridiculously awesome base. Shit, if you saw Street Fighter 2 V, they spent a good long time showing you how good of a fighter Guile actually was.
Yeah,
so,
he whooped their asses.
I mean, he beat both Ken and Ryu, and he beat Zangief. And it was like wrestling and kickboxing, used in that fight. It was, I don't know, it's quality. I can't wait to see what they do with Scott Adkins, because that dude is insane. Just pop in fucking Undisputed 2 or Undisputed 3, and you will see what I mean. That motherfucker is off the chain. If they dumb him down and make him just for the sake of the story, he gets his ass whooped by them, I'll be really pissed off. Cause
I think he's gonna make a great Guile.
Yeah,
he just has the face.
Yeah,
like he's fucking ripped as fuck, like completely ripped.
He wanted to be Batman in the new Batman, and he fucking auditioned for it. And I'm like, he plays revenge-driven.
God forbid somebody actually knows fucking martial arts.
Exactly, and actually can, like, all you have to do is be sad the whole time.
You don't have to say that much.
Yeah, just be pissed off and be vengeance crazed, and talk in a scowly voice. He does that in every fucking movie. And they're like, no, we want Ben Affleck. Like, come on. It's going to have to be, not only are you going to have to spend time teaching Affleck, I mean...
He kind of looks like Ben Affleck a little bit.
Yeah, he could be his stunt double.
He kind of looks like him a little bit.
And I'm in no way bashing Ben Affleck. It's just I'm thinking about the fact that they always pick people who you have to teach to do all this stuff, when you should just pick the guys who can already do all of this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he doesn't have a fucking Oscar under his belt, but he can do what's required to make a good Batman. Just give him better material. Then he can get his Oscar, and it could be for being Batman or something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
You could even do, like, some scenes where he's, like, training him. They'll just be like, hey, Scott, work out for, like, 15 minutes.
Exactly.
Roll it. Go ahead.
It's just weird to me how they do stuff. They're like, yeah, he doesn't have the acting chops to pull off Batman. Like, when you hear the sentence, it's like, really? There's that little kid who was playing Batman. Remember the Dark Knight?
Yeah.
The Dark Knight Takes Christmas or some shit like that. And the kid's he's like, the mom's like, hey, Billy, what do you want for breakfast? He's like, justice. And he like knocks his mother out. Like, that kid did a good job being Batman. It's not that difficult. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm cool with it, don't get me wrong, but I can't wait to see him as Guile. I can't wait. It's gonna be awesome.
Are they ever gonna bring in Sagat?
Yeah, they're gonna eventually. What they're doing is, these are the arcs. They're doing, like, this is the alpha portion, and it ends in the beginning of
the
first World Warrior tournament. Okay. That's where they're going at the end of this.
Yeah.
So you're gonna see probably everybody. The way they do stuff, I'm pretty sure you're gonna see everybody.
That's cool.
And it's only 8 World Warriors if you don't count the bosses.
Yeah.
So they're definitely gonna put them all in there, and I can't wait to see it.
How are they gonna do Blanca, dude?
I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure what they'll do is they'll get someone who actually does capoeira so that it actually looks right, and then give him the right kind of makeup. That's why I'm saying, after they've dealt with Blanca and Dalsim, then when they get to Akuma again, he'll probably look way better. Because
Vega would be so easy to do. Vega would be sweet.
Yeah, Vega's going to be awesome, too. I just want to see... I'm only concerned, really, with fucking Guile and Bison. Bison is my...
Well, AJ, what's your favorite character?
Honestly, don't really have one for Street Fighter.
No. Really?
No.
I mean, Fei Long?
No, for a while it used to be DJ, but now I just don't. I don't even care for him now either, because of the way they. I mean, it's like a samboized. He just reeks of stereotype. So, like, it is bad stereotype.
Yeah, I know.
So it's like, man, Jamaican me crazy.
Yeah. the Sambo smile and
Yeah.
the laid back Jamaican who's trying to get his music career off and he's got rhythm because he's black. Like, nah, man. Like,
You know what always bothered me with him was that initially he was a Billy Blanks parody, right?
Yeah.
So he should have just been a badass fighter and he was happy. That was the thing. And I'm like, okay, fine, I could take that. But then they started making him like break dance and shit. And I'm like, wait a second. Like, at what point?
What is this shit?
Like, where did the breakdancing come from when the guy not only was a fucking
he's a kickboxer.
like he was, and his music was freaking like Latin American like fusion type shit. You know what I mean? Like regular samba or reggae or something. You don't breakdance to that shit. So did like the cats that made him up? Well, I know the story, so I shouldn't even bother with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't have a favorite at all?
No, I mean I like Ryu, but I'm tired of Ryu too because he's been parodied and like he's become that archetype. He's the poster boy for Capcom. That's cool and all well and good. He's a great character, but yeah, I don't really have a favorite. I don't really have a favorite character anymore. I don't know why. It's just like everyone else, like most everyone else is a stereotype of some sort.
Yeah, that's true.
Zangief is, he drinks vodka and he
His
wrasses
name was
bears.
gonna be vodka.
Yeah, originally it was gonna
They
be
were gonna name him vodka.
Balrog is basically Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
He is. Yeah.
That's basically what it is.
He's just a big dumb dude.
He's greedy as fuck.
Yeah, I mean Vega's that androgynous, pretty boy, metrosexual guy that I don't care for him either.
The thing is, for me, is this: if you,
I like Guy. That's it.
Guy.
yeah, there you go, Mr. Final Fight.
Yeah, that's about it.
What a cool move. Yeah, Guy's okay. I don't know. My thing with Street Fighter is this: like, Street Fighter is one of those things that, because of watching how Bengis drew those characters when I got all these art books and shit, it's what made me change the way I drew. Because I was seeing how his anatomy differed from like everybody else. He was doing all kinds of shit you normally never see. And then I saw how that related to each of the individual characters. Like fucking T-Hawk, yeah, it's stereotypical, but that character looks fucking dope. Like he looks hardcore. I mean, I think that was the first figure I got of the Soda Street Fighter figures, and I was like, I have to go back and get the rest of them. Like, he's just an awesome design, and he's so fucking massive. I mean, I would have loved for him to have, like, a more in-depth style, but, like, fucking swinging you like a ragdoll and then slamming you on your head? Like,
Yeah.
that's fucking ridiculous. And then the super, he does it not once, not twice, but 3 times. He bounces, then bounces, and then it's like, boom, and you're dead. Like, there's nothing else that could be said. I was like, man, Street Fighter is one of those games that, like, I played it so much in the arcade, and when I first saw it, it was just like, holy shit. I mean, you got a Bruce Lee character in there. It's like the stereotypes, I guess some of them are the ones that count. And they gave you those. Like, you got your Bruce Lee guy, you got your karate guy, you got your Japanese one, and your Chuck Norris, like your American guy. You've got your kickboxer, so he's your big ass Tong Po wannabe. You've got your American martial artist, badass military guy. You've got your ultimate villain with his fucking force powers and shit, for Bison. It was just weird enough and just cool enough that I dig so many of the characters, but like I do hate the stereotypical portion of it. That's the part that always killed me, because over the years they just relegated certain characters to like 1,000% stereotype, like negative in some cases. Because like Brazil, we don't have green wolves. So how did Blanca become the guy that represents Brazil? We have Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, we have capoeira. Like, we got a rich history of martial arts, and they give us a green wolf guy with chains on his feet and shit. Like, really?
It's like they were like stumped in the fucking meeting room.
The original design for Blanca.
What should we do? Let's mix the Hulk with Wolfsbane, and we'll go that route.
I remember seeing sketches of the original design for Blanca, and that was pretty damn bad.
Really?
Yeah, it didn't look that. Yeah, it was very. I mean, you think they were going out of their way to like be racist. It was pretty fucking terrible.
See, and this is one of those things for the viewers that think that we kind of are trying to harp on this shit. It's not that we're harping on it. It's just that after seeing it for over 20 years in fictional shit, like in fiction, anything goes. You got aliens, you got monsters, you got all kinds of shit, and you go out of your way to put a racist depiction of a character. Something's wrong with the guy that did that. Like, it's annoying. It's like, we're here to geek out. Let's just geek out. Don't bother putting your personal, whatever that personal issue is, into this fantasy. It's fake. Let it be all fake. Just make everybody a badass and call it a day. But, that's
or
not
even
what they do.
what's his name? The Turkish oil wrestler guy.
Oh, God. Hakan.
Like, how horrible is that?
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't do anything remotely
Turkey.
remotely related to Turkish wrestling.
Well, they do wrestle in some of them with oil, but
that's it.
It's
Like,
not.
the
That's
stuff
the only
he's doing,
similarity.
Like, squeezing them in these like very suggestive sexual positions, then squeezing them out like he's busting. Yeah, like that. Yeah, just shit. Like, no. Like, who thought that was funny?
Oh no. Fucking Yoshinori Ono and his sick sense of humor. I feel you on that one. I always wanted, when I heard they were gonna put a Turkish wrestler in there, I was hoping it would have been Darren from Street Fighter EX. He had that big pointy mustache and the fucking World Wrestling Federation belt. He was awesome, and he had this flipping pile driver tombstone type move. It was ridiculous, man. Like, he was way better than Zangief, and they just forgot he existed. A lot of the EX characters, they forgot that they existed.
Yeah, because there was some other.
Didn't he have like a huge ass, pointy ass mustache?
Yeah. He was a fucking badass, and I was like, man, it would have been slick if he was the character that they, adapted for Street Fighter 4. But instead, I don't know, Street Fighter 4, that's another story. See, now we're going back into sad territory.
Yeah.
So yeah,
let's go back to
happy territory. Like, what's funny? Bison, right? There was a point in time where I didn't really like M. Bison, and then I watched.
I love M. Bison.
Me too, especially after Street Fighter the movie.
I hated fighting him.
Like, I understood I think Raul Julia, God rest his soul, he totally understood the character before everyone else did, because he's fucking insane. Like, some of those lines.
His fucking eyeballs popping out of his head.
Of course.
Probably going to die of a brain aneurysm anyway from the fucking eyeballs popping out of his head.
But like, he gave him such fucking character. Like, when I mean, there's so many lines when Chun-Li was explaining what happened to her and why she became all vengeance crazed, and he's like, I don't remember it at all. She's like, what? And he's like, for you it was the most important day of your life, and for me it was just Tuesday.
Just another day.
It's just Tuesday.
Dude, how creepy would it have been if they gave him like white contacts?
Yeah, I know, right?
Fucking eyeballs are popping out of his head like that.
That would have been pretty cool.
That would have been awesome. That's why I can't wait to see what they do with him, and I hope they make him that crazy, but like, obviously make his fighting style a little bit more specific. Because he was all over the place with fighting style. He was like, what's the matter, Guile? You come prepared to fight a man, and instead you find a gun?
Yeah. Why did they pose at the end?
Yeah, because when you beat the game on like 8 stars in like Champion Edition all the way through to like Super, at the very end of the staff roll, all the characters are there doing their victory.
No, I know that, but I'm just like, whenever I paused it, and I would have been like, I was like thinking in my head, how funny would it have been if a streaker just ran by? Like, hey guys!
Let's go streaking!
And then they all just like look at each other like, what the fuck?
What the fuck just happened? Yeah, man.
I was streaking through the quad in the gymnasium!
Oh man, nah, man. I don't know. I really hope that they. I can't wait to see what they do with Bison. That's one of the parts I'm pretty anxious about, and I hope they give Balrog some dimension.
Me too. He's my second favorite character.
Yeah.
My fight money. I hope it goes beyond that.
I was such a huge Mike Tyson fan. Like, it's blatantly Mike Tyson.
Oh yeah. Initially, his name was.
My character died.
That's what M. Bison stood for.
Was Mike Bison.
It was Mike Bison, and then they switched it around because in the U.S. people would be like,
well, they were Capcom was afraid they would get sued by Mike Tyson.
Yeah. For copyright or no, what the fuck is it?
It's infringement.
Yeah.
Infringement. Yeah.
Yeah, it's likeness, not using his likeness.
Yeah, likeness infringement.
Likeness rights. That's right. Yeah, I heard that they changed it. I know that. Yeah. But yeah, he was my second favorite because I was like, oh shit, it's fucking Mike Tyson in a fucking video game, and I can beat the shit out of people. This is amazing.
And he is powerful. Like if you play him right,
yep,
you can just hammer folks, and
especially in 4 because he's got the armor capabilities.
Oh yeah,
shit.
where you can take punches and shit. Yeah. Yeah.
Now his EX moves had armor.
Fuck 4. I like it.
I'm just saying they like I saw more people play with Balrog and stuff than I had ever seen in any other Street Fighter.
Well, back home, whenever we'd go to the tournaments in Atlantic City, people in Super Street Fighter, people used to play as Balrog a lot, and he was pretty fast, and his combo potential was pretty good. So, is it getting close to that time for you to go see the movie?
I'm just waiting on this broad to come over.
Waiting on this broad.
Waiting on this broad. But I'll be right back. I gotta go let her in.
All right, cool. Do your thing, man. Yeah, they. I don't know. I can't wait. And I'm a geek about Street Fighter, but not necessarily the games anymore. The games have turned me off. I still go back and play the old games, but all this bullshit and the new fans that play online and talk shit and have like half the skills or like a third of the skill level.
They have copied skills.
Yeah, like no, you guys, you're not. No, no. It's the kind of stuff. It's the reason why I'm just not interested.
Yeah, she brought me a Red Bull.
You're in for a hell of a night, brother. But yeah,
I think I'm gonna need the Red Bull. I hope I don't fall asleep in this movie.
Yeah, it's kind of slow.
No, the rage will keep you awake.
Yeah, your rage.
My rage will keep me. I'm just gonna be fucking chewing my knuckles off all the time.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. I can't wait for that, man. It's what's funny too. I've been going back and collecting Masters of the Universe classics. Because all the love that we wanted in DCUC was clearly put in that. And, I do like Masters of the Universe, and there's some figures I didn't get when I was a kid that I wanted, and I've managed to get them now. And then there's some that I had that I got the classics version, and I'm just like, holy shit, it's like a whole new, same character, but it's like seeing him in a different light, Like, I had, one of the first ones I ever got was, what's the guy's name? Grizzlord with all the hair. You know what I mean? He looked like
yeah, I love Grizzlord.
Yeah.
Who's Moss Man was my favorite.
Moss Man stunk. He smelled weird. I remember it
smelled like mothballs for some reason.
Yeah, we used to we didn't play with Moss Man.
I love playing with Moss Man. That smelly little bastard.
If you played with it too much, some of the moss part would start to come off.
It did. It rubbed off and yeah. But I had Grizzlord when I was a kid. He was like one of the first ones I got. And then the other day, I saw him at Big Fun, and I got him again, and he had all his gear and everything, and I'm just like, holy shit. It's way better than the one that I had when I was a kid. Like, you could clearly tell that these are the guys that made the first ones when we were kids. And now they're doing all the things that they couldn't do back then, because now figures just at a base level are technologically superior or engineered superior in a superior fashion to the ones we had when we were kids. And man, I mean, they gave him like a whole bunch of. He's got like 2 swords, a short one like a machete, and then a long sword. And he's got a little axe. And in his backpack, he's got this cool like storage for the weapons. And then he also has a like a crossbow. It's pretty dope. It's pretty damn dope. I was like, wow. And like, if you look at him at first glance, the fucking crazy hair is still all over the place, and it still works. It still works,
The vest on. On the side of the vest and shit.
Yeah, man, he's fucking dope. I was surprised, man. I don't know if I can find them for a decent price, because I think I got him for like $13. If I can, no shipping or anything, because he was right there in the store, and they've got like a whole case full of those guys. So, whenever I get a chance, I'm going to try to go over there and see what they have and get the ones that I wanted. I couldn't remember we were talking about Fisto or Battle Fist.
I want a Fisto so bad.
I ended up getting the one from the 2002 series instead of the classics version because it's just way too expensive.
Yeah.
And I paid like $12 for him, so I was like, shit, that'll work.
That works. I want either original or the other one, but they're just way too expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
I like Too Cool, the one that they came, or Too Bad.
Yeah, Too Bad. Yeah.
Too Cool. I'm thinking,
You're getting old,
he's
man.
doing the worm.
I don't. Hey, bro. I'm too cool.
Where's Rikishi?
I know, right?
Oh, but no, Too Bad looked pretty cool. That one that they came out with.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind getting that. A couple of them, like there's what was the name of the Count?
Marzo.
Marzo, yeah, that's another one I want.
I got him too. He's the last one I picked up, and I got him brand new for like maybe $20. I think that was as much. That was the most expensive one I bought so far. Yeah, he's pretty cool too. Like he's got like the one hand specifically to hold his freaking amulet, and everything. They have all this storage. Like you have a space on his back. I'm gonna do a review. He's actually the next person after I finish reviewing the Predator. I'm reviewing him next.
That Predator looks pretty sweet too.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
There's a bunch I want to get. I'm not gonna spend more than $30. I want to do it.
Exactly. That's how I feel. I think I paid maybe $20 or 19 something for that Predator. So I was like, I'll do that. I can go that high, but I'm not going any higher. And I did a custom cape on. I'm about to put that up too. I did a custom cape on the Greg Capullo Batman.
Oh yeah, I love that figure.
Yeah, it's really well done.
I gave it like an okay review, but then I'm like, now that I've been like looking at it for a few days, like it only has ankle issues. That's the thing.
That's the only thing.
Me and Talon have the the
those
worst
wobbly ass ankles.
Yeah, are yours really bad too?
Yeah, you'll see it in the video too, because like when I pulled the cape up so I could show you guys how long it was and the shape, he just wobbled and fell down, and I'm like, yeah, it's about to happen. There it goes. So yeah,
I had to super glue his leg and then like chip away all the white crust from the super glue.
Oh yeah.
But it works fine now. He works great.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that too. I'm afraid of doing that because I did that with one of my Figma figures, and I freaking broke the hand. I was so mad because it felt like it was done, like it set and it was twisting the right way, but I didn't realize I was just twisting the fucking arm off or the hand off at the peg. So, and it didn't feel like, because I would move it other ways to see if it would actually still come out, and it looked like it was still coming out. Next thing you know, it just fell off. I was like, fuck. Luckily he has, a whole bunch of extra hands. So I was able to just glue that hand back in, and then the other one I can switch out the hands if I want to. Yeah.
Mecha Neck.
Yeah, I have the 2000X version of Mecha Neck, not the Classics version.
I want the Classics.
They're both awesome. For me, I like that in the 2000X line, the figures had different body types. You know how like the thing that of Masters of the Universe is that everybody has the same body type. Well, in 2000X, you had like buff guys, you had kind of skinny but tall guys, you had like short and stocky guys, you had huge, with ginormous muscles. Like even He-Man is not as big as his Classics counterpart. You know what I'm saying? Like he's big, but he's a little bit lean in comparison to the Classics one. So, and I dig that. That's the reason why I love the Soda Street Fighter line so much. It's like all those body types are different, except for the characters who are supposed to be head swaps, But
I can't wait for those new Street Fighter figures to come out.
Yeah.
I don't even know when those are coming. I'm gonna look them up right now.
They're done by Capo Toys.
Capital?
Capo. C-A-P-O. Yeah, I'm going to get just the figures in that line that they didn't make in the Soda line, since I have like almost everybody they made in Soda.
Yeah, pretty much everybody.
Dude, if you ever find a fucking Soda Street Fighter Player 1 Ken,
They're expensive.
Grab them for me. I can't find them anywhere, man. I've been looking for like 3 years for them.
Yeah, he shot up in price for some reason. I was gonna
it's
get
weird. Some of that stuff was really cheap for a
Yeah.
while, and then it just the prices got jacked up again.
Yeah, because there was a point where even the NECA ones were cheap, and then
I
all
have
of
the
a sudden,
NECA one.
Oh, you do?
The NECA one's halfway decent, but
He looks like a fucking Muppet.
I feel like his hair's kind of like it's definitely got the anime look to him.
Yeah,
Doesn't have like his original look to him that the other one does.
yeah. I don't like the NECA version. I like the NECA Ryu though, because he's fucking jacked and he just looks mean. But like, Ken looks weird. You're right. He looks really weird.
He looks like he's like having a good time. Like, what's kind of weird? I'm just like that's no. But yeah, these Capo ones like that Blanca looks amazing.
Yeah, but it's funny though. The Soda one didn't look bad. Like a lot of people, I heard people when I first looked at the Blanca one on the. I was on Toy Arc, I think it was. People were dissing it, and I'm like, really? Like, have you looked at it lately? That figure actually is still really dope, and there's like a lot of detail, and like I think the joints are better on the old one than these new ones, because the new ones have the weird like elbow joint and swivel in the same place. Kind of like the Movie Masters figures, you know, like the Green Lantern Movie Masters. I hate that shit.
Now, why isn't the bicep swivel at the fucking bicep?
Yeah, because it looks natural. It doesn't look right when
looks like you're breaking their arm.
Yeah, you broke their freaking arm at the elbow. It doesn't look right.
I think people were dissing it because he's got an open mouth. I think he's got that open mouth head.
He's got two heads though. That's the thing.
But the other head is fine.
Yeah.
So it's like they were like dissing like he's got the swivel. He doesn't have a pivot on the one extra set of hands. I don't think.
No. On the Capo one.
On the Capo one.
Yeah, on the Capo Toys one, at the elbow, he has a
the swivel.
A swivel.
Yeah. What's wrong with that? That's fine.
I hate when the swivel is where the elbow joint is. I like when the swivel is where the bicep joint is, because that's where
he's got both.
That would be retarded.
No, he's got both, dude. I'm looking at one right now. He's got a bicep swivel and the swivel at the elbow.
Yeah, that's whack. It's too
weird.
much. It's too much
so
articulation. That's like on the Coppola Batman. He's got a freaking wrist swivel and then a glove swivel.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Why does he need both? It's
funny because on the toy newsy or whatever, they have pictures where they're twisting the arm and it just looks so off.
Yeah, because the gauntlet's going one way and it's shaped to fit the right way, and then it's going in a different direction than his wrist, you know what I mean? And you're like, wait up, how can that... I don't know, maybe we're being too nerdy about it.
No,
it just doesn't look right.
Actually, you know what? I'm looking at it, and I think it's just because he's a prototype.
Yeah.
That there's cuts there. And they look like they swivel, but I'm looking at the rest of the figures, and they're the ones that are done, and the other ones don't look like they swivel, and they just swivel at the elbow. So.
Yeah. I mean, and it might be good, but I think like when they have the swivel at the elbow, the thing I noticed is you're putting extra stress on the joint, because you have two joints in one spot. You know what I'm saying? Like
they're overthinking it.
Yeah, but
the elbow's still double jointed, because it's been a while since I've seen those.
They're single jointed.
That's what I thought.
The knees are single jointed too,
and they also have a swivel. It's worse with leg joints because legs are heavier and then the peg is smaller. So the knee joint, you have the knee joint and then you have the swivel right next to one another. So I don't know. Maybe it'll be cool. I'm still gonna pick up, like I said, Zangief, Dalsim, E Honda. I think they're the only people I need to have all the original guys. And then I need DJ.
That Guile looks really good too.
Yeah. I might pick him up.
I got the Soda Guile. That Soda Guile's perfect.
Yeah, I've got the Soda Guile and I've got 2 NECA Guiles. I've got the San Diego Comic-Con Guile in Charlie's clothes, and then I have the white and black version because we got him on sale. I was like, yeah, I'll pick him up. My wife.
Yeah, I got the Player One version. Well, it's not called Player One, but his original, just the green on green NECA one.
I still need a soda cami.
Yeah, some of those are expensive, but I think the one in the blue is like $30 or so, if that.
If I can get the player one, that's the one I really want.
No, you won't be able to get the player one.
I know.
That's the because I look them up every now and then, and I was gonna get the Cannon Spike version because I've always wanted it because I actually dug Cannon Spike. I played the hell out of that game when I had it, and I just for some reason I never saw that figure at the conventions that I was at. So whenever I look for that figure, I'm expecting to see the green player one figure, and I see her, and she's always like $50, $70, $80. I'm like, really?
Yeah, I need her, T-Hawk, Blanca, and Vega.
Yeah, you need a lot of people.
Yeah, I know.
And I think they all come from, they might all be from the same wave. Yeah, because was Ken,
Wasn't Blanca
Vega,
part of wave one?
Blanca,
Oh.
Ryu.
Damn, even the NECA figures are going up.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Holy shit, they're $40.
Yeah, which makes no sense because nobody liked them.
Everybody fucking hated them.
Everybody was like, they look like Muppets and shit. And like, all of a sudden, they're so
They
expensive.
don't even look that bad.
Yeah, I don't think all of them look that bad, but some of the articulation is weird.
Yeah, no, they're very, you gotta be really gentle with them because they like to break.
Well, like Ryu didn't break, but his gi popped open.
Mine it did too,
Oh,
right out of the package.
Yeah, the gi popped open. I had to super glue it back. So I just put him in a pose, charging up a fireball.
Did something fall out when his gi popped open?
I know, right? Oh my god.
Had a nip slip.
Oh, my gi's open! Oh, I gotta put myself back together.
Oh shit. Yo, well,
Yeah, man, you gotta go see
yeah,
the
you better
movie.
go see her movie. Don't have that chick waiting for you like that.
She's waiting in the other room. Yeah, you go wait too. You like it.
Shit, if I did, my wife would be trying to choke me.
Yeah.
Why'd it take you an hour for us to get ready to see this movie?
What did you say? I heard that mumble.
I know, right? We'll be boxing and shit.
Like your Kung Fu Hustle.
I know, right? Exactly. See me trying to jump out the window and she just grabs me by the back of my head.
Yo,
Back in.
Oh no, bitch, you ain't going nowhere.
Man. It's funny, I wish that the Mortal Kombat figures were done better. Because, like, I've seen a couple figures that I kind of wanted to pick up, but they're so bad, man. Like, they're so bad. I wanted Raiden, and when I saw him up close, I was like, that figure's kind of shit. Like, they really didn't try hard enough. They're not clean. The paint jobs are kind of shitty. And Shao Kahn is easily the best figure in the whole line. And he's, like, really well done. And then they did the 3 3/4 inch versions, and he comes with the big temple set up with the throne and everything. That figure is dope, but the rest of the figures are just lackluster as hell.
Yo, fuck the Lost Planet figures.
Yeah, man.
I'm not paying $20 for a 3 3/4 inch figure.
And they dropped the price of some of the mecha stuff, like the legs and the two legs, the legs and the chest versus. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They're like $70 now.
Yeah, fuck that too.
But still, I'm not paying $70 for some 7-inch legs. Like, no. No. It's not gonna happen.
And I was hoping they would do those figures. And then when I saw them, I was like, cool. Then you see the price, and I'm like, no, man, you guys fucked it all up.
Yeah.
I'm not paying
They're
that
trying to
shit.
get that Transformers money.
Nope. No dice.
I know. Wait, like in the Jet Li movie?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. It's in the commentary.
Wow. That's funny.
I think that's why the one guy, remember they were in the morgue, and the one guy said something about a porn actress and how she only does lesbian porn, and then you see Jet Li's, you see Yulaw pop out of the thing like, shut up!
What the fuck? I don't remember this at all, and I watched that movie 1 billion times. Wow.
I feel like watching it again.
I'm gonna have to watch that again. Cause yeah, Janine Lynn Mulder was pretty damn hot. Yeah, she was hot.
My name is Yulaw.
I know, right?
Nobody's bitch. You are mine.
Oh my god. god, yeah, that movie was quality. I know people didn't like it, but I had fun watching Jet Li fight Jet Li.
Yeah.
They hit each other so fucking hard. At the end of the movie, it was ridiculous.
I saw Badges of Fury and I actually liked the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
I had a feeling it wasn't as bad as people were saying.
It's like Kung Fu Hustle. It's in the same vein as Kung Fu Hustle.
Also,
it's
way
a comedy.
exaggerated.
Yeah, and everything's exaggerated. Like the one like it's cool because Jet Li's like the seasoned veteran cop. So you have the main character who's all young and he's all super impulsive. So he runs off to do shit, without thinking. And then you have Jet Li who he takes his time, but he gets exactly to where the other dude is, but he's more methodical about it. And the main bad guy is the frog dude from Kung Fu Hustle.
Oh wow!
So and him and Jet Li have a pretty decent fight at the end of the movie.
Wow!
And then fucking Beardy's in the fucking movie with Seven and the other guy. He's got a really distinctive face, but I can't remember his name. He was in Kung Fu Zero recently.
Oh, Jackie Wu?
No. But he's in it too.
What?
Yeah, he's in the movie too.
Well, I have to watch this movie. Like, I've been holding off on it because, like, everybody said, oh, it's not that
Yeah, it's on
great.
Netflix. No,
I'm gonna have to watch that. Yeah, because, I have been waiting to watch some good martial arts flicks. I mean, shit, we watched The Raid 2, and The Raid 2 was fucking amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I can't watch it more than once, probably a year. But, like, the movie was amazing. I mean, it was so damn visceral. I mean, like, I felt the pain of the guys getting destroyed in that movie. Like, I don't know how they pulled it off.
And I even like the plot of the film.
Yeah, the plot was really good.
They're not trying to, like, bowl you over the head with something super in-depth, but it holds together enough that it's not an you can tell it's not an afterthought like in other older movies where it's just there to keep the fight scenes going on so you're not bored.
Like it bookends stuff.
Yeah,
this was actually a well thought out plot. Yeah, have you seen The Raid 2? ODC?
No, I haven't seen it.
Man, if you can, see it. I don't know if it's still playing in theaters because it was like limited release.
I heard they had some of the best action sequences, like
this year.
Both.
I was reading something like an article of like top 10 longest action sequences.
Yeah.
And like it was just like all one shot, and it was all in like a profile. They showed it. It was just like a picture, and this dude just mowing through dudes.
Yeah.
And they're all like jumping on him and shit.
Yeah.
I think it was.
It's the scene.
And they're like in like a tunnel or something, or like a subway. I think it was.
Oh,
you're thinking of Old Boy.
You're talking about no. Old Boy.
Old Boy had a really long, but he had that hammer.
He had a hammer in his hand.
And shit.
No,
that's what it was. It was like he had like a hammer in his hand. He was like hammering people's like ankles and shit.
Yeah, that was Old Boy.
But in that movie, Old Boy is overrated. Like that fight scene's not that great because the guy was not a great fighter at all.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool because it was all done in one shot.
Yeah.
That's great and all. But then you watch like JCVD, and he did all that and more.
Yeah.
At the very beginning of the movie.
Have you seen that?
All in one shot.
Have you seen JCVD before? It's Jean-Claude Van Damme's like his movie.
Yeah, it's kind of like a biopic. It's like a biopic based on his life.
It's fucking awesome. Like the first 45. It's not even 45 minutes. It's like the intro of the movie. The first like 5 or 10 minutes of the film is like him going. It's one long take with him fighting and sneaking around through this base and killing people, and then you realize it's him on the set of a movie.
Yeah.
But like the way that it's done, as he moves from one thing to the next, it's like Metal Gear or some shit. Like he just sneaks around, takes a gun, pops a guy, chokes out another guy, then somebody actually tries to fight him and he takes him out, and then I mean it's fucking dope. The whole movie is actually really well done.
I think that was some of Van Damme's best acting too.
Yeah. But yeah.